everyone, so in this video I'm going to try to make my own circuit boards out of this glass fiber copper cladded board, just covered with a thin layer of copper. I got it in an antique sale. Yes, it's Soviet, but it's pretty high quality because Soviet equipment is high quality and it's really strong, like this board. So let's start. So to start, we're gonna need an etchant to etch our circuit boards. I'm gonna use ferric chloride, which is easy to make. I'm outside now, and I have a flask with hydrochloric acid and steel wool. As you can see, it's greenish yellow because the steel wool reacts with hydrochloric acid to make hydrogen gas and iron chloride or iron dichloride, as you can see in the equation above. And now you might say, oh, that's not ferric chloride. Yes, I need to oxidize it. Either I can bubble air through it, or hydrogen peroxide. I don't have a lot of hydrogen peroxide, but this is all I have, so I'm gonna pour it in. And as you can see, it's bubbling, making chlorine gas. That's why this should be done outside. And this is ferric chloride and hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so now we need to cut a piece of our board, as you can see. But first of all, what are we making? Well, a printed circuit board, or PCB. But what are we gonna do with it? Well, we're gonna make this circuit, which is a relay, 2 capacitors, a resistor, and an LED. I have this circuit here. It's missing 1 capacitor, but yes, I tested it, and this circuit of this relay, yes, works. And this is a simple oscillator or blinker circuit for an LED. And on my cell phone, I have the traces. As you can see, we're gonna paint these traces onto this board, and it's gonna protect them from getting dissolved in the acid later. But for now, I'm gonna put all these things away, and we need to cut a bit of this board. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna comfortably sit in my chair. I'm gonna cut this. Just like this with a knife, and then I'm gonna break it off. Okay, so I took this board that week that I cut off, and as you can see, I actually cleaned it with soap, so now it's super shiny. I'm gonna take this paper cut out with the traces. I'm gonna take some of this PVA glue, dab it on my fingy, or my finger. Okay, so now I'm zoomed in on that board, and I'm gonna show you my board now. Oh my god, no. Drop the board. Okay, I'm gonna just lightly paint it with this red paint. Okay, so the board dried, but all the traces, like the third of the traces, are like literally gone. But I'll get some paint and I'll use a tiny paintbrush to paint them, but most of them are still there, so it's not too bad for my first try. Okay, I'll fix this board up and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So I fixed up all the traces on the board on our PCB, but for the etching part, unfortunately, the solution didn't work. It doesn't really dissolve copper that well. So I'm heating it on my hot plate, and I'm using a pump to bubble air into it to oxidize it to iron 3 chloride. and I hope it works. This will work, but in a while I hope heating it will make the reaction faster. Okay, so got this Tupperware container for the acid mixture. And I carefully pour it without getting any of the sediments. Actually, no, that's too much. How do I pour it back in the container like this? No, I'm gonna spill it. I'm gonna probably spill it. Got our circuit board. I'll just drop it in. And I'll close the lid. And there we go. I'll let this sit for an hour, or at least I'll let it sit until it dissolves. Okay, so as you can see, the board is done etching. All the copper's gone, all the paint, and under the paint there should be the copper that didn't get dissolved, but I'm gonna have to remove it. So I'm gonna use acetone. As you can see, or paint remover, any sort of, you can get basically anything that dissolves paint. I'm using acetone because it's cheap, effective, and also I like its smell and taste. Yeah, just joking. No, don't drink acetone; it's gonna kill you. But no, this is all I have. Okay. And also, acetone is pretty good and removes the paint really fast. And this paint is meant for cars, so acetone is probably the best thing for it. So now let's do that. Okay, now here is our board. As you can see, all the copper is gone. This is what we started with. One side is just regular, the other side is copper, and this is what it turned into. Now I have this crystallizing dish, and I'll pour some acetone. As you can see, acetone, yay, into this to clean off the paint. Acetone isn't too dangerous. I mean, it's toxic, but in small amounts. I mean, yeah. Oh, there we go. The paint is all. Ouch! It's on a wound. As you can see, all the paint is coming off. Wow, that's a cool layer. Okay, so the copper didn't get dissolved, which is good. Now I have this napkin. And I'll place this on a napkin. Okay, so now I'm gonna drill some holes in this board with my Dremel. Okay, so here's our circuit. I already added the the relay to it. And we're gonna solder in the relay first because it really wants to fall out, and I don't want that to happen because I made the circuit a little rough, as you can see. But I mean, I did this with my hands. Like, I drew this whole stencil for the paint with my hands. And there you go. Here's the circuit for you nerds who want to find out. Just a relay, 2 capacitors, a resistor, and LED light. I'm gonna follow the circuit and I'm gonna solder everything like it says on the circuit. Okay, so now I'll tan these ends of this wire. And we're done. Okay, so for my LED, this is the negative terminal. Should be the negative one because it works. Okay, the capacitors, they go here. So this one is negative. Okay, there we go. So this is my circuit board. As you can see, all the traces are covered with solder. I mean, they're a little. My soldering job is a little sloppy. Also, the tracks of copper are a little sloppy. There are some tracks here and here. As you can see, that shouldn't be there. Also, I made a little D. The letter D for D-Labs. As you can see, just the simple relay oscillator. The capacitors control how fast it goes. So I have two capacitors. One has 1,000 microfarads. So this is 2,000 microfarads. A resistor. I don't remember how many kilowatts. I think it was a 3-volt LED, a blue one, and a 9-volt battery for the relay because it needs at least 12 volts to work, but it works on 9, even 6 volts. And as you can see, it flashes. It strobes. Actually, it doesn't flash, but there we go, a simple circuit. Okay, so this is my relay oscillator circuit that I printed myself, and it works perfectly. So you can see, just strobes, blinks. I mean, it's pretty cool actually. I'm pretty happy with this because now I can print my own circuit boards, and you'll see a lot of these in my videos because I want to start doing it more electronics, because chemistry sometimes gets a little boring and dangerous, and I'm kind of tired of dealing with toxic stuff. Maybe let's just do some actual work, construction. Sorry, not construction. Maybe let's build something cool. And I will not show the whole process in my videos, maybe just a few glimpses. But this is a full video on how I make these boards, or how I will make them, because this is the first time I ever made a board like this. Also, next time I'm gonna use a different etchant. I think hydrochloric acid with manganese dioxide or hydrogen peroxide, or even with calcium hypochlorite pool chlorine. It will be great because it will make chlorine and it will dissolve very fast. This took like so much time, and I even started worrying that the mixture will not work, and it didn't really work too well, honestly. So yeah, I'll recommend you to not use ferric chloride because it doesn't really work, or at least didn't work for me, or maybe it was just too dilute. I don't know, but there we go. I will only change the etchant. I will not change anything else because everything I used, even the acetone, worked perfectly. Even the circuit was super easy. I literally just watched a 5-minute YouTube video a few days ago, and I drew a circuit diagram because no one actually showed the diagram, so I had to make my own, and I made my own prototype because I don't know why. I wanted to make sure that it worked. Also, you might think D-Labs, why didn't you make it like 3 times smaller? You can use a transistor and it will be able to fit almost anywhere. Well, yes, true, but also I hate transistors. They're so hard to hook up. One wrong step and the transistor blows up. Literally, it just blows up. It goes poof, and magic smoke comes out. Well, relays are just a coil of wire and some contacts. So you could cut one, smash one. You can make a relay with a spoon, some springs, some wires, and a piece of wood. That's all you need. Well, a transistor, if you want to make a transistor from scratch, you need to go down to a mine, get some silicon, purify that, and make a chip. So no, thank you, no. I don't really like transistors, and also I don't really have any, so yeah, that's funny. But there we go. I showed you how you can print your own circuit boards at home easily. So like always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.